My name is Voiseau. For those who are new here, I'm a freelance creator slash singer-songwriter who made some pretty drastic life changes the past year in order to write my own songs and music. I thought I would start keeping a record of my journey, as I haven't really found many people like myself just starting out on their creative path who are actively sharing the things they're going through, their thoughts, their hardships, and their trials, as well as their successes. I think it helps to hear other people's stories because the path to your heart can be very lonely sometimes. If you're on this path yourself, then you know that finally doing what your heart tells you to do is not a straight road, and surmounting the inner obstacles to achieving your goals when you've never gone all in before is not for the faint-hearted. Personally, my path was laid with a lot of fear. A lifetime of auditions, competitions, exams, and concerts as a kid gave me horrendous performance anxiety, to the point where I convinced myself all my life that I was awful and no one would want to hear me. Ever. So I ran away from all music in my life for 10 years. I did a music degree, I sang opera, I played the piano. I stopped all of it because I believed the lies of my negative ego. The ego was so scared of judgment that the only way it could get me to stop putting myself out there was to convince me that I wasn't good at music. 10 years I believed it. Yeah. Through the past 2 years that I've been on this path, I'm realizing that the only way out of fear is through it. Because it's only by going through the fear that you realize all of those awful thoughts about yourself were never actually true. Those thoughts aren't who you are. They're just the negative programming you've absorbed. And once you can physically prove to yourself that those thoughts aren't true, they begin to loosen their grip on you. You begin to separate the real you from the programming. So when they inevitably appear again, you get very good at catching them out and calling their bluff. What then replaces the empty space left by fear? Elation, joy, ecstasy, confidence like you've never known. You just proved to yourself that you survived the very thing you were most afraid to do. Now the world is your oyster, and absolutely nothing can stop you anymore because you've overcome the mind. That is the true power of the human spirit. But the ego is cunning. So this is the realities of what it's like living your dream life. Starting out on the journey. I've literally just turned down a 3-month job on the West End. A job that would have been my dream job 2 years ago. Everything that I worked hard for the last 5 to 6 years. I've never worked on the West End before, and I literally just turned it down because it's no longer what I want to do with my life. And it was a lot of money. I would have been able to pay rent with that money. I would have been able to pay off my car without money. I've just turned it down. All because it's not on the path of my heart anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. This is mad. I've gone nuts. I've gone crazy. Well, I knew that I would actually get to this point one day. Once I started this journey 2 years ago, I knew I would arrive at this point where I had to make a choice. It's just hard turning down that kind of security when you've got nothing else. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. This is just part of what it's like. And I have no idea what's going to happen. But just something in my heart tells me that I need to keep going. It is true that taking the road less traveled is an accelerated way of uncovering all the negative belief systems about yourself. You're going to have days where the voices in your head tell you anything they need to tell you to get you to go back to the familiar, especially if you have expectations of an outcome that haven't been met and you're completely thrown as to where to turn next. There's no safety net of the old life anymore, and the further into uncharted waters you go, the louder the voices get, and the harder they are to ignore. If part of your path leads you away from earning an income for a while, as it has for me, your survival mode kicks in hardcore. Those mechanisms will try just about every trick in the book to get you to go back to safety, especially when you refuse to return to the old way you used to earn money, which is literally what has kept you alive your entire life. When these moments hit you, they can manifest as doubt, fear, anxiety, irritability, rage, or guilt. These experiences are very visceral. Whatever happens, do not act on those emotions. Your survival mode has kicked in, and you owe it to yourself not to undo all of your hard work by calling back your boss in a moment of blind panic, begging for your job back. Do what you gotta do to stay your course. Tie yourself to the mast of the ship during the storm and trust that it will get you through safely. Bad weather always passes eventually. It's up to you to get creative and find ways of earning an income. Chances are you have a few ideas already, you just gotta be a little brave. The unknown is a scary place, but it's only scary as long as it remains just a thought in your head. Go and prove the fear wrong. Hold yourself to higher standards than those voices that have kept you small, because they will never be true. As Jim Carrey says, to find real peace, you have to let the armor go. Risk being seen in all of your glory. Be a rock star in no time. I thought I'd sit here in the forest just behind where we're living. It's probably about like a 20-minute walk just to get here. Today is not an inch of wind and it is so still. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I've been struggling mentally with a lot of things lately, and I came across a book a while back that I reread yesterday, a couple of chapters of, and it's called Transcending the Levels of Consciousness by David Hawkins. And just reading about what I've been going through and the challenges I've been facing just have helped me so much, because I really thought that I was stepping back. I thought I'd made a lot of progress in the last 2 years, and then you must feel like that sometimes. You have moments where life is really, really hard mentally, and you just feel like you've taken a huge step backwards. But then I found that actually it's normal, and what I'm dealing with at the moment, the challenges I've been dealing with, are my ego. And especially since starting this journey with music, ego and expectations. I mean, I feel like it's the ego that sets the expectations. It just, when you first start music and writing your own music and releasing your own music, you think, oh my God, just wait till people hear my music and then I'm going to be on the charts, I'm going to be on the radio, and all these people are going to hear me, and all my problems in life are going to be sorted. No. You release your music and then nothing happens. And then what? You've given up everything to get to this point. So what? What now? And I've been struggling with the stories my mind has been telling me about where I should be by now. I'm 34 years old. I'm the poorest I've been probably since I started earning money. And I put all that money into music because I really believed I could make something of it, and I have, and I'm really proud of where I've been, what I've accomplished compared to where I was. But your ego just kind of sets these expectations, and when you don't reach these expectations, you just get a bit sad and your mind just goes, whoa. I guess all I really want to say is that if you're someone like me starting on the creative path, don't give up. Everything in your heart and soul wants you to do this, and it's taken a lifetime to get you to take the step which leads you on this path, this journey of your heart and soul. And your mind will try to trash it. It will try and tell you, what are you doing? Go back, earn money, be safe, don't
go in the unknown, you have 50 quid left in your bank account. How are you going to afford to pay your car, to pay your bills? I mean, yes, do what you've got to do. And I mean, so many times I've gone back to saying yes to a job I didn't want to say yes to because I needed the money. It's hard, but stay the course. I don't know where mine's headed at the moment. I am really in this unknown place, but every time, this has been my life since COVID, every time I thought that things couldn't possibly get worse, honestly, it's turned into the greatest gift of my life. And then certain things have happened that I could never, ever, ever have seen coming. And if you'd have told me that a year ago, I would have probably freaked and told you were crazy. Like, I am not kidding. I am not kidding. Maybe I'll talk about it in another video. Oh my goodness. And I think it's all because I have let go. I've let go of so much, and I've just decided to trust in whatever this is, whatever life is. Let go and trust it, and it's scary as hell, and your mind will try and make up all these things about it and tell you not to keep going, because what are you going to do if this happens, if this happens? But I want to tell you it's okay. I'm living proof that it's okay. I've still got air in my lungs. I'm still here, and like, money-wise, I'm the poorest I've ever been in my adult life. However, I am the richest in spirit I've ever been. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm the bravest and most courageous I've ever been, and look at where it's brought me. Away from the working world, inside the most beautiful, beautiful forest. Like the most beautiful place. Little cottage to live. Life's a mystery, but here we are. Just keep going, I guess.
The journey doesn't end because something doesn't work out the way you expected it to. You keep going. You've got to keep figuring it out. You've got to keep reinventing yourself. Keep getting better. Keep learning new skills. Keep asking yourself the real reason why you're doing it. It's certainly not the time to quit and give in. It's as if the soul isn't satisfied because the lessons you need to learn on the journey haven't been learnt yet. There are certain markers you haven't reached, and you've got to make those realizations before other wonderful things can happen.
That were beautiful.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was. I'm a massive fan.
Yeah.
Massive fan. I love it. I absolutely love that.
So that is Voiseau. You can find her on Google her, search her up, find her tunes, and genuinely, you heard them here first, people.
I'm just being on the radio. I'm really pumped.
And all that's left to do is play our final tune.
I still have no idea where this journey is going, and I probably never will, but there's a few things I know for sure. Music is unifying, music is healing, music is expression, and that's why I do it. I didn't come here to worry about money. I didn't come here to worry about my car or paying taxes. I didn't come here to worry about what others think of me. I didn't come here to feel unworthy or to suffer. Believe me that it's taken a lot of work to be able to say that, and truly mean it. If you can learn to think of fear in a different way, as a gateway to joy and release, to healing and expansion, if you can start to break the cycle, if you can live it and not just talk about it, then my friend, who knows what greatness may be lying in wait for you. Strap yourself in and get ready, and I'll see you on the other side.